Hi, this is Tim from VegfestUK, and this is a third in a short series of effective vegan strategy. Today I'm going to be looking briefly at some of my favourite vegan activists, and especially in relation to people who are really inspirational and very well thought out and very effective. I think it's a really good idea to look at other people, obviously from a critical aspect, but also from looking at what they're doing right. You know, I think the movement does sometimes suffer, possibly, from quite a lot of negative stuff, you know, a lot of personal stuff. And although obviously it's good in a social justice movement, indeed imperative that we do have a critical appreciation of work around us, you know, I think it's also really good to focus on all the good stuff too. So I'm going to do that. You know, some of the people I've chosen will be not that best pleased. They're quite humble people, and they'll be probably emailing me and messaging me shortly saying, you shouldn't have put me up there. The reason I've chosen these people really is because I think, you know, in these times it's good as a growing movement that there are people that we can look to and have a look at their work and, you know, be inspired. So, you know, no one's perfect, they're not perfect, these people are perfect, none of us are perfect. We're not really about that sort of perfection thing, we're more about, you know, the overall really good vibe and goodwill, good stuff, inspirational stuff that's coming out of so many activists. And on that note, I appreciate that, you know, this is fairly USA and UK based. We haven't really reached out yet. I am researching some of the incredible activism that's going on, you know, around the world. I'm looking at another talk on that shortly. But for now, I'm going to focus on some of the people I know, come across through professional work, obviously with VegFest, and also just through reading some of their work and watching some of their presentations and listening to some of the podcasts and some of their Facebook pages. You know, it's hopefully also to help just do my little bit to help inspire a little bit of a culture of positivity. You know, the vegan is growing, especially from a justice perspective, and it's important to try and have a bit of, you know, old school positivity in there, old school love in there. So here's my little tuppence worth of, you know, some of the amazing people who are out there doing some incredible work. I think it's a really good practice to listen to people and see what they're up to. There's a few people that I haven't included. I'm going to just briefly, in the sort of style of the top 20 or top 10, the bubbling under. Some really incredible people who are not in my little top 10. People like Brenda Sanders, founder of the vegan SoulFest in Baltimore, and does a lot of other work. She's coming over to the UK too, to our conference in October. I really look forward to meeting Brenda actually. Finding her work really inspirational. Kevin White, who's the organiser of the West Midlands Vegan Festival, now in its maybe 9th year. Kevin is a really good example of a really good, well-run grassroots vegan festival that is really inspirational. Victoria and Roddy, who do the Yorkshire Vegan Festival and the Northern Vegan Festivals, again, the grassroots vegan shows are really amazing shows. I love the way they're working. Also, on that note, actually Sue Thomas, sort of up and coming, doing these absolutely fabulous vegan events, including one in Bristol very shortly. Brilliant. They're all really colourful and passionate, and, you know, really helping people through the vegan door. I think I think it's a really effective vegan strategy is to organise your own vegan event. Joe Bryden is doing some really good work down in Brighton with his abolitionist tabling. He's out on the street tabling quite a lot, leafleting, talking to people about being vegan, and also from an LGBT perspective. He's another speaker who'll be coming to a conference. And of course our own Freud, who's been brilliant. Freud recently appeared, made a little short film. he's doing his poster campaign. He's up in Edinburgh at the moment with his posters. Pig Fry's a lot of fun, so enough respect to the pig. So there's a few people sort of bubbling under, but coming now to the top 10. And in at number 10, the Collectively Free with Raffaella Ciavata, doing some extraordinary work. Really caught my eye. Raffaella is coming to our summit. I love the way also that they are, you know, challenging racism within the movement. That's something that's really important, something that we've got to start doing a bit more of, because there is, you know, unfortunately within the vegan movement, a lot of racism and sexism. And that's part of what the summit is hoping to address, you know, a pro-sexual summit. Number 9, Caroline Bailey from Animal Rights Zone, and the moderators at ARZ. Brilliant Facebook page, great safe space to debate. You see some really interesting stuff there. Some really good research, some good links, some good podcasts. Highly recommend. Very well moderated. Really inspirational too. And again, it's not just Caroline, but also some of her friends. And I know that Caroline does a lot of work behind the scenes. That's really inspirational for some of her friends especially. And as an example of somebody who's really well thought out and always learning too. So enough respect to Caroline and the ARZ crew. Number 8, Nishma Shah, who is part of the Jain community in the UK. Jain community is like a religion that practices non-violence, and there's probably 150,000 people or so community in the UK. As a sort of natural allies, if you like, or you know, religion. I think a very effective strategy actually is to work with people who perhaps already, you know, share some of the beliefs of veganism as a philosophy. And Nishma, husband Maharsh, also people like Sagar, done some great work with the vegans and the young Jains in the UK especially. Cookery demos is Nishma's particular speciality, and I love her work. I find it really inspirational. It's a really, really good kind of little network there. So yes, number 7, of course, the Go Vegan Ireland campaign is exceptional, headed up by Sandra Higgins. Some of you may well have seen the Go Vegan Ireland campaign that's been hosted in Dublin and indeed in Belfast, I believe, and up now in Newcastle, on bus stops, bus shelters, incredibly vibrant, striking posters from a justice perspective too, which is very inspirational. I think it's very effective because it really jars people, I think, and it kind of gets people talking on a level. Of course, it, you know, especially if it's followed up with really good vegan education and resources like the Go Vegan Ireland campaign is. So, but of course, you know, the Go Vegan Ireland campaign is quite a big budget. Not so the Vigo and the VIP campaign, which is also in Ireland, in Dublin. And this is a fantastic example, in at number 6, headed up by Declan and Roger Yates, of you know, gazebos in the city centre 3 days a week, with peaceful, creative vegan education going on, people talking, leafleting, sampling some of the vegan food, providing vegan information like where to eat and stuff. Brilliant, you know, so inspirational to see people volunteering on a grassroots level with next to no budget, come rain or shine, usually rain obviously in Dublin, but hopefully right now, a lovely summer. You know, fantastic, and people all over the world are doing this. So, you know, if you're one of those people out there who's doing vegan education, like tabling and leafleting gazebo style, respect, fantastic. It's a really, really good way. I think it's a really effective strategy to get out there and talk to people one-to-one, you know. And let's see more of that. So that's number 6. So here we come to our top 5. Moving on, as they say. Number 5, whoa, Team VGN. Just come back from the summer camp, so inspirational. So much respect for Kylie and Laura especially, who founded the Team VGN network, which is now not only, you know, going all over the world with its support, but also for teenagers, you know, who go vegan, and families of teenagers, but also with their summer camp. And we were lucky enough to be invited up to the summer camp, and incredible, you know, there's like 70 young people from age 11 to 17 vegan now, or, you know, interested in veganism and activism and stuff. That was incredible. It was really inspirational. And you know, again, Kylie and Laura, not everyone believed in them when they got going. We always did. We always thought they'd be stars, and you know, fair show. So there you go. Number 5, Teen VGN. Number 4, an incredibly powerful speaker. Actually, I had the pleasure of seeing him talking in London several months ago, and he had us all in tears several times. You know, himself included. A deeply emotional speaker. Touching on areas that, you know, are challenging, they're troubling, and Christopher-Sebastian deals with these areas with such grace and such humbleness, and from such a wonderful place. And I really learned so much from reading Christopher's work, Sebastian's work, his podcast too, his little vlogs and stuff are just, you know, they're great. And I'm really looking forward to him coming over again. He's going to be at our summit. Do catch his work, Christopher-Sebastian. Have a look. You know, he really, and his Facebook page too. He's really some of the Facebook page. You know, number 3. So we're coming to our top 3 now, and it's incredibly difficult to pick our top 3 and to separate everybody, because everybody, you know, so. But number 3 is Aph Ko, who's doing Black Vegans Rock, and it is, whoa, you know, amazing. Can't wait to see her, because she's coming over too. And she is just really, you know, she's just incredible. I just love her work. I'm reading so much about, and she's just done an interview with Female First. Have a look at that. It's on our Facebook page. It's just really good work. Aph Ko is inspiring so many people, I know that. And in such an effective way too, because it's, you know, you really feel the whole thing, you know. And what she's doing is really, I mentioned that, you know, it's a little bit focused on perhaps just the USA and the UK here. One of the things that Aph Ko with Black Vegans Rock does is really give a platform to a lot of people, you know, all over the world, who perhaps sometimes excluded from mainstream vegan spaces, and that's the importance, so important her work. So much respect for it, and I think it must be so inspiring, you know, so inspiring for so many people. So thank you, Aph, for your work. And in at number 2, whoa, as they say, straight in at number 2, but out the blue, the quite extraordinary Be Fair, Be Vegan campaign currently in New York City. Massive billboards in Times Squares with a justice focus, and information and website to back it up. Really good. One of the things that, you know, I find so effective about this campaign is that it inspires other people to promote veganism from a justice perspective, you know, rather than perhaps the health aspect or the environmental thing. I mean, these are really important, but a justice perspective. And this Be Fair, Be Vegan campaign is, you know, is an eye-opener. Job me. Lovely, wonderful campaign. So there we go. That's been my, you know, we'll come to number 1. That's been my top 10. Number 1 coming up. Just to say that, you know, all our, you know, all our people that we know out there working on the vegan education is just so inspirational, and please do consider doing more of it. If you're somebody watching and you're inspired by any of these wonderful people, do, you know, get involved if you're not already with vegan education, and if you already are, you know, broaden your horizons, be inspired by these incredible people. And so, coming to number 1. So let's have a nice now drum roll, of course, for number 1. The amazing, here we go, number 1. Excuse me? Sorry, pig food. Do you mind? Sorry, no, it's not you. No, we've already mentioned you. Look, I've had you on the list. No. Sorry, I know, you're very amazing. We know that. You're amazing, you're lovely. Yeah, but oh, Joey's upset now. Oh, right, okay, it's upset now. All right. Well, look, we'll be out down the pub later. All right. Oh, right, okay. Oh, I'm in trouble now. Right, sorry about that. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Number one, on a number of levels actually, 3 levels. This guy is really inspirational because I think he's the most effective vegan strategist right now, because number one, he has this amazing Facebook page, Vegan Publishers Facebook page, and he does a lot with outreach. You know, it's not just vegans he talks with pre-vegans, and when I say he, of course there's a whole camp, there's other people, his wife and support team. He also publishes amazing books, and when I say amazing, the Vegan Publishers is like, they've got these books like for kids, like they write for like really little kids too, you know, like 1, 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds and stuff. That's really, I was talking about Team VGN, inspirational, you know, the up and coming generation. This is even more, you know, kind of up and coming generation, and you know, the books are really amazing on Vegan Publishers, about 15 publications now. But, you know, Casey's work too, his own work, and the way that he helps guide other vegan strategists, other vegan educators, other vegan activists. Casey helps provide the tools and the inspiration, and helps unlock some of the areas into effective vegan advocacy, motivational vegan advocacy. And that's why I picked Casey as my current number one, because, you know, he's inspiring on so many different levels, but particularly he's inspiring creative vegan strategy amongst the strategists. So there we go. There's my little 10 minutes worth. Hopefully I haven't overrun. But, you know, really, if this talks about anything, it's about respecting these people, looking at what they're doing, and finding inspiration. Go out and do it yourself. So on that note, be vegan, stay vegan, live vegan, teach vegan.